listen, y'all. What time it is? It's morning time. That's what time it is. It's morning time. And you know what I'm going to have? I'm going to have good conversations. And I told y'all that I was going to have some Baltimore people to shine the light on them. Yeah. Oh, we're going to put that song in there too, Tony. We're going to put that song in there. Shine a light on them. So I'm bringing y'all my sister, right? And it's been a minute. And we just had some good conversation, right? We started our conversation. And the thing about it, y'all, is that I haven't really talked to her in a minute. But the good thing about it is if I pick up that phone and I dial it or I hit her, shoot her something on IG or whatever, guess what, y'all? She answers. That's good people. That's people that's solid, y'all. I'm a little old. Y'all know I be using a little solid, right? She is solid kind of situation and everything. And I just want everybody to just kind of be privy to our conversation. So, Shannon, I'm gonna put your whole government out there. Is it all good if I call you the whole government just so they can know you?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, hey,
Hey, Renee, girl.
Shannon Ramsey. Shannon, you are amazing. Like we met. Oh my gosh. Like we only 20, but we met what? It had to be at least about
Period.
15, 17. Let me see. My daughter's 21. She was in the play when she was 8. So it's like at least 10, 11, 12 years or ish or so. 13 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a whole minute, y'all. And we were in a play. We were cast in a play together. And you talking about somebody, first of all, you talking about somebody that is a whole half a second big, but the notes that she carry. You talking about our singing sister. Are you talking about like you don't even know where all that music and all them notes come from? The girl is bad, y'all. And she bad not only because God blessed her to be bad, but because she's from Baltimore. Yeah, we're gonna keep
Oh,
on saying it. Because we are amazing. Baltimore
yeah,
women, Baltimore people, but Baltimore women are amazing, Shannon. Am I lying?
I concur. You get
Girl.
no argument out of me. Okay, you win.
No lies detected. And since, in those years or whatever, that it's been a whole minute, girl, tell the people like what you do and stuff like that. Like, cause I know you got some music that we're gonna drop on here and everything, but just tell what you doing, Shannon. I mean, the movies, the singing, the mommy, the everything. What you doing, Shannon?
Oh my gosh. The most important thing I'm doing is being a mommy and a wife for sure. My family absolutely comes first. And then in addition to that, I have the music is out. I am a singer, artist, actress, model, soon to be host, and I've done so many things. I've done so many different mediums, so I don't even know where to start. But just to give a few things that I've done, I have done theater. I have done television. I've done well, we're doing radio right now.
How
I've done
about
that
that?
too. Um, I've had my own talk show. It's called Let's Talk. I did one full season of that.
What?
And then COVID came and just kind of like I wasn't the EP on that, and that was one lesson I really learned too because yeah, when you don't really have control, sometimes things don't always go the way you want them to go. So COVID kind of got that kind of shut down for a while after the first season. Then I've done more recently. I've recorded and released my own album under my own company, which is Sundar Music.
What?
Yes, the album is called Manifest because we have all been given something unique from God to release into the earth. The album is a vibe. It is amazing.
And y'all gonna get some of it.
There's
Y'all gonna get she teasing y'all because y'all gonna get some of
yes,
it on this here platform. After absolutely.
it's really a good time. It's something that you can play with your family. You can play at the cookout, the festival, riding in your car with the top back. It's just a really
Yes.
good vibe. It's extremely positive. And yeah, it references my faith
Hmm.
and who that resides in, which is Jesus Christ. But it's
Facts.
it's just a vibe. It's inspirational music, and it's, my first love of music is R&B. So you get all of that soul, and you get and you get positive lyrics to go along with it. So I'm just super excited
Not
about it.
not being from Baltimore,
Again,
you getting
it's
positive, girl. I'm only you know I'm being
listen,
smart, right? You know.
okay, all day, all day. And so again, the album is called Manifest. It's on all digital platforms. And if you go to my link in my bio for NIG, which is Shannon Ramsey underscore, you can click any link you want to get the music. If you get it from Google, Tidal, Apple, etc., it's all there. That's the most recent thing. I also did that too because I was tired of just waiting for somebody to give me an opportunity. I was ready to create my own
Mm.
opportunity, and I was ready to start building my own table, which is what I've been doing. It's not easy,
Oh,
especially
listen,
being a
you ain't said
mother
nothing
of
but a
three.
word. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
especially being a mother of three, it's not easy at all. But I do know that when it's a part of your purpose and you're called, it doesn't always feel like work.
It does.
And I'm super excited about it. I'm so grateful to my husband who's so supportive, and I was able to do get that process done.
Mhm.
It was long nights, and we recorded it really in the height of COVID, and nobody
Wow.
got COVID the whole time.
Wow.
Nobody got it. No musician, no producer, and none of none of, like, nobody got it. So God was definitely in the midst of that.
But Shannon,
And
you
what
know
I
what?
will,
Wait a minute. You said something really, but you said something big because I don't really want to go past that too much. You were talking about,
yeah, what's
listen,
up?
instead of waiting for other people, you actually built your own table. That's what I did when I wrote A Better Baltimore Film. I was like, you know what? My daughter's out here in California. I'm out here. And it's like, you listen, there's a lot. It's a lot of room and a lot of space at the table for people. However, it can become limited. And I was like, instead
Mhm.
of waiting for someone to give me a role or give her a role or this, that, and another, guess what? God gave me the ability to write. So let me go ahead and use that talent and then put it into play. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, for
somebody
sure.
from, yeah, somebody from Baltimore, which is so funny, I talked to him earlier, but Troy Rollins, he was like, when he would come over, I was writing, and he was like, and I'm like, I don't really know. And he was like, what are you doing right now? And I was like, I'm writing. And he was like, so if you're writing, then what are you? And I was like, you too smart. What are you talking about? He was like, no, you're writing. Then what are you? And I looked and I was like, a writer. And he was like, okay
Exactly.
then. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And baby,
Yeah.
that pen start going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's great because I know what I'm in the season of understanding
Mm-hmm.
is it's not about being the provider of things. It's about being the steward of things, right? Like
Mm.
God already provided the gifts. He already provided the things within us. I think it's when we start listening to those outside voices, that is what takes us away from our belief in what we
Mm-hmm.
have within, but
Mm-hmm.
then it also affects our stewardship, right, of our gifts. A lot of people think of stewardship as, oh, money, this and that. No,
Mm-mm.
it's a good being a good steward of your time, your treasure, your talent, right? And
Look, your
so I
health,
think
your
that
mental health state,
your
all of
health,
that.
your
Yes,
mental,
absolutely.
all of those things. And for me, like, I like to. I'm not a holy roller, nor am I a biblical scholar, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I do love God, and I have a relationship with Him for myself,
That's
and
key.
I do believe that. I do believe that He's given all of us unique gifts to
Absolutely.
steward. And I think that when we start realizing that all we have to do is start showing up for Him and ourselves in
Yes.
different mediums, in different art forms, or whatever it is you do, and do it to the best of your ability and steward that thing, understanding that it's a gift He gave you and not something a label gave you or
Come on,
a
girl.
friend gave you or whatever. I think we will start really trusting ourselves more, really putting ourselves out there more because we're creating, right? We're doing the
Absolutely.
things that He's called us to do. And I
But the
feel like
creator
when you
made us creative to create.
Of course, exactly. And so that's why I take my hat off to you. And it's also too why I think we clicked, pretty much right off the rip, because
Yes.
we're able to support each other, and we're able to also
Yes.
steward our own things
Yes.
without feeling like I gotta dim my light for you or you gotta dim your light for me. It's like it's enough room for all of us to shine. And I feel like we hear it so much, and people are making that statement sound so cliche-ish, but it's absolutely true.
It
So
is. And
my
listen,
hat's
wait a minute,
off to
Shannon.
you.
And wait a minute, Shannon. And I appreciate and I thank you for even the accolade. All I tell people all the time in all honesty is, listen, I'm just a willing vessel to be used, right?
Yeah,
I never want anybody to come across my path and not have the opportunity if I'm able to give them the opportunity, because they'll never stand before God and say, nobody gave me a chance. Somebody
right.
that's crossed my path, or just if not everybody, will stand before God. And when they say, well, I never had a chance, he said, I sent my servant Renee, and I know that she gave you an opportunity, right? But I also just wanted to go here for a second. You were saying, like, again, we clicked because just because you sing and write and this, that, and another, like you said, it was room for both of us. And the only reason I wanted to go back there for a minute is because I always tell people, yep, I've been in California, Georgia, whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm a Baltimorean, right? And I know that they talk all the time about the crabs in the barrel. No, if you choose to be in whatever barrel you in, that's what you choose to do. But there are so many people like yourself, like myself, that no, we might be in that pot together, but baby, I'm not gonna let you boil. I just looked at that thing with Candy, and we're gonna go here. I just looked at that thing with Candy and Leandria, and I'm gonna tell you why it touched me personally, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
That I've talked to Leandra here and there, whatever, and my heart always was so heavy. And again, just like you said, I'm not a holy roller, even though I'm a licensed ordained minister in the Christian faith. I'm not religious. It's about relationship, right? And
There's enough.
what hurt me was that church folk built her up because of the gift, just like you said, because she had a gift, right? Maybe not that she was being a good steward over, but she had a gift. She has a gift. She has gifts. And when she couldn't be used or handled, or they weren't pouring into the person instead of the gift, they left her by the guy on the side of the road. I can't even think of what is the person that was left on the side of the road, Damascus Road or whatever. Nobody picked him up. I forgot, but you know what I'm talking about. Where all the people came next to him and ain't nobody help him, whatever. But they left her
Oh
there.
yeah, you're talking about the Good Samaritan.
Yes, yes. And then here's
Yeah,
Candy. And we know, and I'm not judging Candy. I don't know her from Adam, right? But we don't know Candy to be a gospel artist. But at the end of the day, Candy, right? Candy coated stuff or whatever. Candy was able to talk to her heart, to come from her heart, right? Because out of the heart, the mouth speaks. Candy was like,
yeah,
listen, what do you need? And I said, look at, not calling Candy the world per se, but we understanding, of course, just the distinguishing between what we see as gospel and what we see as worldly. I'm like, the world came to her rescue. Somebody in the world who showed the characteristics of God, who showed the fruit of the Spirit of God, to say, what do you need, my sister? It's not about you being in church, having a Bible, seeing scriptures. What do you as a person need, sis? That touched my heart, Shannon.
yeah, 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 yeah. And I think that what people don't realize is they did the same thing to Jesus. I'm not trying to be deep here, but they
No, but
did the
listen,
same thing to
listen. This
Jesus.
our
Like
conversation.
let's just be real. Let's just be real about it. They did the same thing to him,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have you have the Pharisees. They didn't believe Jesus,
At all.
but they allegedly they know the word and they know the law and they remember what Moses did and said and all the laws and this and that and this and that, and they missed it. They
Missed it.
missed it. And these are people that are supposed to be his home, if you
Yes.
will. Like they say, you don't really you a man got to go out of his homeland to get acknowledged. You
He
understand?
said the
So it's like,
birds had with the fowl in the air. The fowl in the air have homes, and the foxes or something have homes. But the Son of God has no place to call. That's why I don't get caught up in this world.
right. And so I think that we get it twisted. We get it twisted. Like people look at Candy and they'll say, "Oh, she's of the world or whatever," right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how can we can look on the outside,
Yep.
but God looks at the inside. God looks at the inner man. And so uh, I don't know her personal relationship, but
Right.
what I do know is she showed love, and God is love, and
And
she
what does His
showed
word
love.
say, Shannon?
She
He said,
she's
"You'll
a
know them by their fruit."
by their fruit, and the spirit, the spirit by the spirit, and
Mm-hmm.
she poured love into that lady. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't be looking at all that. And yes, I
Uh-oh.
said be looking. Okay. I don't be looking at all that. Like I'm not I'm not I'm not I'm not into that. Like the Bible also tells you, be leery of those who want to be called by titles and all this stuff. There's
Listen.
nothing wrong with that. Also being a minister, right? It's
Mhm,
nothing wrong
mhm.
with that. But I'm not impressed by none of that.
At all.
And you're not gonna always hear me saying I'm minister so and so. You're not gonna catch that because it's about um it's about living the life, like being an
Absolutely.
example. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I'm not really into all of that. I'm into action. Love is an action word.
It
It's not
is.
just standing behind a podium and pointing a finger and quoting something. You have to show action, right? It's a you gotta do something,
Let
right?
me
And then
tell
the
you.
Bible also tells you that even just because you got a title and you got a name and you might be, in the faith world, if you're doing all of that and you don't have love, it doesn't
It
matter
means
anyway.
nothing.
So she could have, Leandria could have been talking to the biggest pastor of the pastors. And
Okay?
that biggest pastor of the pastor, for all we know, ain't got no love.
None.
So guess what? It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. So I just
Because
think that
listen,
we get
God
it
can
we get it
use
twisted.
anybody, right? And
Anybody he
the
wants to.
Bible lets us know he used, we want to, whatever version you want to read, he used a donkey or he used an ass. That is in King James. And so if he can have an animal speak and make sure that the animal takes care of that servant that was riding that dang donkey, right? So he can use whomever, whenever, however. Like I said, that's why I said I'm a willing vessel. So whoever chooses
Yeah.
to be used, right? But the thing about
Yeah.
that is I learned long time ago. I'm gonna tell you, long time ago when I was in my domestic violent relationship in my marriage or whatever, and we came to church, both of us, baby, looking the part. He was a minister, I was the minister, not was, is, or whatever. And baby, we dressed the part, and we had the hats, and we knew when to say amen and this, that, and another. But at the same token, this man was just truly abusive, right? And when I tried to make the cry out to the church, it was like you couldn't even see, or they couldn't even see or accept the fact that this was going on because I looked the part. And that was years ago, and it really made me sit and really start gearing up my discernment and looking at people who looked the part. And then the Holy Spirit was showing me, baby, I need you to look deeper. I need you to look to the heart. I need you to see the behaviors and patterns and characteristics of the person, not the
Oh
people
yeah.
of what they call themselves and not what they
Yeah.
look like, but I need you to see what they look like in the spirit.
Oh yeah. And people and spirits will show up.
All
Okay.
day.
They will tell you who they are because listen, and I said this often. Sad does not know how to be happy. Happy does
Ooh,
not know how to be sad. Depression don't know how to, you know, operate in faith. The spirits are who and what they are what they are.
because that's
So
real.
if you pay attention, they are going to show up.
Yep.
It's going to show up because it doesn't know how to be any other way other
But
than what
it's,
it is.
yep,
It's
yep,
humans, it's us humans that go back and forth. We want to be over here, then we want to be over there. The spirits are the spirits.
yep.
Okay. Now we definitely want God's spirit, but I'm just saying that these spirits will show up because they don't know how to be any other way. So it's
Hmm.
not, there isn't a, God is not the author of confusion.
Not at
He's
all.
not. So and especially when you love him, he is going to make sure he lights the path for you. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? He is going to be the lamp unto your feet. He's not a man that he should lie, nor is he the son of man that he should repent. Like
That's right.
everything he said, he
And
has
his
made good.
word will
So
not
he's
return unto him
it
void.
will not. It will not. And so uh people, and listen, I am in no way belittling or dismissing people's serious situations or things that have happened to people. I am just saying that if we got more quiet,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it says faith come by hearing, hearing
Mm-hmm.
of the word of God, and we listened more, we would see the signs. I'm talking to myself.
Hmm.
I'm not preaching it. I'm really talking to myself. Like I'm just saying these are the things
That's
I
the
say to
first audience,
myself.
baby. Absolutely.
Exactly. These are the things I say to myself. And so if we paid more attention and just got quiet, right?
Mhm.
God will show, the spirits will show up, and you'll
Yes.
be able to say, "Oh no, you know what? I'm gonna love you from over here.
Mhm.
I'm a, or okay, this is a person I think that I could, connect with or
Mhm.
whatever." So it's just about really just getting quiet. Sometimes that calls for isolation. I will definitely say in my season of isolation, initially I took it really, really hard.
I did too. Wait a
And
minute.
I
In my
didn't
season,
understand
Shannon,
it.
in my season of pruning, I took hard. I was like, God, it seems like everybody and their mama is like falling away, or you're telling me to step away or no longer be connected to or attached. And when I looked around, I was like, I looked like a bare tree. I was like, wait, is it me, God? Like what? And he's like, no, I'm pruning. First of all, of course, there's a plucking and then there's a pruning. And that some of that stuff I had I,
Hmm.
had- I had gave to him, and some of that stuff he took away. And it wasn't no
Yeah,
beef. It was just that
yeah,
I need you to separate from this because I know your heart. I know who I
yeah,
created. I know who you are. And I know that given the opportunity, you will cast your pearls among swine. You'll give everybody everything, Renee. And in this season and where I'm taking you, I need to pull some people away from you because they will not usurp off of the blessings that I've given you because you've gone through and overcome and now in the position where your latter is greater than your past. So you did that. And I want to
yeah.
bless and give you for that, not for you to give. I'm going to tell you. And he gave me the difference between what nice and wise is. He said, I don't need you to be nice. That ain't nowhere in my word. I told you to be kind. He says, nice is people
Listen,
pleasing. I'm not asking you to please
child.
nobody but me. I need you to be kind. Kind is being able to be nice with wisdom. I need you to be that way, Renee. I know how I made you. And see, for me, Shannon, I was either black or white, up or down, or I ain't had no middle. You got Baltimore Renee or you got blessed Renee. So God had to show me how to be blessed
Listen,
Baltimore Renee.
you said a whole mouthful with that nice and kind, right? That's
Oof.
something I know I had to learn. I was definitely a people pleaser.
Mm,
And I don't miss that side of me
at
anymore.
all.
So I don't. And I think what you said, it is very true about God's word and being kind to one another and being wise, right? And
Yes.
so um I think what I will say is in my season of isolation with God is when I become the most productive, even
Yes.
though I don't know where He's taking me.
Mm,
Um, but trusting Him blindly, right? That's faith,
yes.
right? So
Yes.
and that's why my first single, cheap plug, is Faith. It
Girl,
was
no, you
from the
ain't got. Listen,
album.
this
It's
our
called Faith.
conversation. I'm giving you all. Listen, you. No, wait,
So
wait, wait, Shannon, stop. Cause wait, baby, wait, baby, wait. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Listen, I heard what you said about what you started in 2020. Now, I'm doing it right here publicly. I want to offer you a spot to host that same show right here on Destiny Over Drama. You need to be a part of the family. Come on
oh
back to finish
wow.
operating in your purpose, baby. Okay? Your voice need to be heard. We are the remnants, baby, and we Baltimore remnants.
Listen,
Okay?
wow.
We Baltimore remnants. We ain't scared. We ain't never scared. Okay?
Never, ever,
So
ever.
I want to offer your show to be here so that you can continue to operate in your purpose, operate in your destiny over drama. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, sis. That's all. But go ahead. What
Listen,
were you saying?
listen. That is, I'm speechless on that one. Because I'm speechless on that only because of what what I know God's talking to me privately about. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely speechless on that. I appreciate your obedience and even saying it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in a season of that and receiving certain things, especially when God is really trying to get my attention and wants me
Mm-hmm.
to hear him clearly. And I always ask, like, if it's you, Lord, make it clear. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we gonna touch that, but I'm speechless on that part. You look, you got me all discombobulated with that because that, you know how it is when God gives
Absolutely.
you
I
something
do.
and then he gives you something else, a confirmation of something. That
Mm-hmm.
that's just amazing. So I thank you, God, for that. And I thank you too, Renee. I will say that, like I said, in my season of isolation is when I was the most productive.
Mm-hmm.
And I also recognized, and I was telling my uncle this the other night, when I'm in my most uncomfortable place is usually when I'm the most closest to him.
Yes.
And I will say that doing that project, doing the EP that I have out, Manifest, was hard. It was a process. It was something that I'll never forget, but it was the best thing for me to silence the noise and really
Yes.
get to hear God without a person, place, or thing attached to it. No
Absolutely.
personality, no none of that. Just really being able to hear his voice in the unfamiliar places and in the wilderness. Because as you know, being in the entertainment industry, you are often in places that don't promote him. And
Absolutely.
so we have to be those lights. And how can we be those lights lest we hear, right?
Yep.
How can we do the things he wants us to do? And now that doesn't mean we're going to be doing gospel albums all the time, or we
Mm.
going to be teaching Bible study all the time. No, it's in our walk. I just want to
Oh,
say this for your audience. One thing that really touched me, and I was watching something, and the person said, you got to now be okay with your walk being your evangelist.
yes. Say
your
that.
your walk is what's going to evangelize to people, right? We're not always in a season where we can stand behind a podium, or we're not always in a season where we are, we may be in a house of faith, right?
Well, he
A
said we're
lot of
living
times
epistles, baby,
ministry is,
read of many, right? And
yeah,
Shannon, what
and
you're saying, I'm sorry, baby, listen for a second. I'm just sorry. I mean, I apologize for
no, you're fine.
interruption because it's right in line with what you're saying. And I really have to say this because when I started speaking about doing this radio, I'm having this radio platform and doing this station or whatever, people just automatically assumed that it was going to be just, gospel and preaching because of how, like you said, because of how I walk. And trust and believe, I love that because I thank
Yes,
God that that's what I exude. That's where people see that I'm walking my talk. But what God was showing me, right? And some people ain't comfortable with it because I play secular music, but it's an inspirational platform. So it's not no boots on the
yeah,
ground. It ain't no pound town. It ain't none of that. But at the same token, right? It is R&B. It's R&B jazz. I mean, it's jazz. It's inspirational. You know what I'm saying? It's house music, house inspiration, all that. But I'm saying all that to say that you're absolutely right. When you're okay with your walk because your walk lines up with your talk, it's who you are and how you show up. I don't have
yeah,
to be given scriptures every time I'm talking to somebody or this, that, and another, but what we put out in the atmosphere, because we have to understand that the entertainment industry and the media, whether it's television, whether it's radio or movies, this is the largest tool of evangelism, right? So
yeah,
I don't need to whip you with 5,000 scriptures, but what I will do is I'll inspire you, I'll impact you, I'll impart to you, I'll uplift you. So at the end of the day, you know how to have a relationship with my Father. It's not, and don't get me wrong, like you said, I'm not knocking nobody else or nothing else, but the all
yeah,
gospel
for sure.
stations and the all word stations, how are you ministering to the person who don't know the word? And I'm not saying that they're not effective, because they are. Everybody has their place and their position in this kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking anybody else. All I'm saying is I'm comfortable in who I am, and I don't have to defend. It says be ye ever ready to defend the hope that lies within you, not defend my
Right,
faith, not defend my word, not to defend whether I follow Christ or not. I ain't debating that or defending that with nobody. I'm gonna show up.
right.
What you get is what you get, and I guarantee you 100% you're gonna get him.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think this is one thing too. I appreciate your platform because when I first put out my single Now, I don't know if you remember Now, but it's still relevant today. People still love it. I actually just got asked to do a praise and worship, and they wanted me to do Now.
Mm-hmm.
And I recorded Now probably more than like 10 years ago. Shout out to Darren Saunders, my brother, who produced that with me. Um but when I first put it out and I let some people in the industry hear it, everybody was just like, "Oh, this is great." But I mean, what are you gonna do with it? I mean, it's like gospel. Is it not? Is it like a club record? Is it like, because it's like a 128 BPM.
Okay.
Um,
You speaking
but
foreign to me, but all right, go ahead.
so basically, like, you could play it with the up as an up tempo record.
Okay, okay.
And you should check it out. Is
And
now it's on
and
all
we'll
the
and we'll
music
be on this
platforms as
platform. I was
well.
going to say, and we'll
But
be on here, so y'all gonna check it out too.
right, and so uh many of people were just like confused. And in my
Mhm.
mind, I'm like, I'm not confused. Like, I believe that God should be presented, especially to a lot of these younger people. Yes, holiness is always right. Don't get me wrong. I ain't never saying that ain't. But what I am saying in addition to that is that a lot of our young people, right, they
Mhm.
need to see God in a practical
Yes.
way.
Yes.
They need to see it really being lived out, because these kids nowadays, they don't care if you the pastor, they don't care if you the pope, they don't care about none of
Baby,
that.
wait a minute.
They
Let me
want to,
interject yet again. They don't care because the pastors and the first ladies are their mamas and their daddies. Okay, that part next.
yeah. So like they're not really interested in the talk. They interested in the action. Remember when we was growing up, it is do as I say, not as I do.
Right,
And these
right.
kids ain't about that life. They about, well, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And I thank God for that too, because that pulls us to the carpet. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't that old.
Absolutely.
I ain't that old.
Absolutely. We
I'm
only
just
20. I told you
saying
we only
we
20.
ain't that old. We young and tender. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying that I think for me, my a part of my mission is to present God in a practical way. But when you talk to me, I'm his. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
There's no doubt.
And there's no doubt about it. Like, I'm not gonna cross certain lines up based on my convictions, not yours, not the people down the street. No, based on my convictions, I'm not gonna do certain things. However, I do believe that we really got to start showing manifesting, the hint to the album. We got to start
Mhm.
manifesting these things in the earth. And so
We have to. And let
I
me say
think,
this, Shannon. We have to
yeah.
because where we are, because the enemy know his time is so short, where we are, where people are professing spirituality, we have to help distinguish what spirit we're operating by. And we talked about that
Oh
earlier about us.
yeah, for
So
sure.
when a person can see, a person who may not understand spirituality will understand how you show up, right? They will be able to see your behaviors and patterns and say, wait, this person is consistent with telling the truth. This person is consistent or persistent with being encouraging and supportive, right? So they'll see, like you said, the character attributes of our Father, and they can then distinguish from the ones who are claiming spirituality and know maybe scriptures, or like I said, look the part, or speak the part, but they're not living the part. That's how we're being set apart. That's what the word
Yeah,
describes as us being set apart in this world, right? Being peculiar. It's crazy how, when a person looks at you and know that you may be going through a whole bunch of stuff. And I've had people tell me this all the time. They like, Renee, even in the midst of going through stuff, they be like, you always still smiling. You're still so encouraging. Yeah. And I'm hurting, but I'm still encouraging because I need to,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because I really believe what I'm walking. I really believe that thing, even when it hurts, even when it's heavy, even when I'm calling and crying out to Him. I still believe it though. And so that's what you'll see in my walk, not just in my talk. This ain't just about me being able to give you the 50-cent scriptures, or because I graduated from Bible college and all that stuff, or whatever the case may be. It's not about that. It's when the rubber meets the road. Who is Renee Ambush? Who really
yeah.
is she? Who is Shannon Ramsey? Who is
Right.
she? You understand what I'm saying? Because we get so
Yeah.
many people showing up as something else or somebody else. The world is looking for authenticity, authentication. Is that the word? Authentication? Yeah, that's what they're looking for, because it's so many duplicates out here. They just want the real person. Will the real Slim Shady stand up?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I get it. They want authenticity. And
Okay, so you ain't have to go
yeah,
there. You ain't have to, I know I said it wrong. You ain't have to go there. I'm just saying.
no, no, they do. They want authenticity. Like, I do. I want
Yeah,
authenticity. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? And
Absolutely.
I don't mind constructive criticism when it's coming from the right source. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
That's how
Like,
you grow. Faithful are the
yeah, for
wounds of a
sure.
friend, not the tickling ears of somebody who wants to agree with you and lead you way down to hell because they just clapping and being your cheerleader.
Listen, honey, you done said it right. That's it. So, yeah, like,
Okay.
yeah. So I would just say that I agree with that. I agree with that. And I think that for me being on this journey, it's just because I'm seeking him all the time. It's like it's just really helped me to stay focused and really be productive and not just busy. You know what I mean? And like
Yes, do I?
um even from getting the album done, and then it's like I've also found my mentors, like in different
Yes.
areas. Shout out to Vaughn Vargas and his wife Shauna. Like, they have been a really good family at this point, but
Right.
also mentors in like just the music space. He's an amazing, huge artist in his own right. They have done together. They have done so much. Just from nominations, and they're really in it, but they're faith driven. And so it's been
Yes.
really good to sit and watch people in this industry who are faith driven, but and doing it the right way, right, and pouring into other people, paying it forward.
Yes.
So big shout out to them. Vaughn actually just released his project Cock Crowns. I got two songs on that project, which I'm extremely proud of.
Well,
One is
Vaughn,
called
she, she
Air.
she don't know, but she just put you out there, so we need you on the platform too.
You absolutely do.
And
You
we want to
absolutely
we want
do.
to spend your music too. Again, if you come
Yes,
past Renee, she's giving you an opportunity.
it's definitely, which is definitely his music is definitely something you would play on your platform. A faith-based artist and positive music. He's a hip-hop artist though. He's a
Love it.
rapper, but
Love it.
he knows what he's called to do. And so yeah, it's really been a pleasure building a relationship with them both, and watching how they're doing it, right? And so his project is called Cock Crowns. Like I said, I got two records. One is called Air, Heir, because
Hmm.
the running theme of the project is to remind us that we are heirs.
Come
You know what I
on.
mean? That
Come
we are
on.
royalty. And the other song is called Red Rum. But they are, I mean, the album is just, it's great. It's a direct to consumer model, so it's on like the direct to consumer platforms. You're not going to find it on like Apple. You'll find snippets and things like that on Apple, but he's doing this a different way now. So shout out to them. I'll also say shout out to Crystal L Bass, because like I
I
said,
didn't call Crystal up, and I'm like, girl, listen, come on the show. I ain't fooling Crystal. Crystal, I'm about call my people. Listen, Crystal, I done called your darn people, and I done text them, and you need to get your little self on this show.
listen, Mama, another Baltimorean is doing her thing. You hear me?
Yes.
That queen is somebody that is amazing to study. Her life story is amazing. And like I said, I've done the project. I did my music. Now I'm in my acting bag.
Okay.
I actually get to play Crystal in this movie. I am number one on the call sheet.
Wow.
Okay. And I'm very excited and honored to say that she decided to, she picked me to do this role. She handpicked me to do this role. And
Wow.
I played Jasmine Carter, who is, she's portraying Crystal's life. This movie is called Fortuitous. And
Mm.
it is a true story based on her life. And so Crystal is also in the movie. She plays her mother, and I
Mm.
played her. And so it has been a pleasure. And just working with the different legends that she has in this movie has
Wow.
been just been it's just been really, really, it was a really, really amazing time. We shot this in 2024, and it's premiering this month, September the 25th at 6 p.m. red carpet event at the historical center,
Come on. I'm gonna go
which
to
is
this.
one of the most famous movie theaters in the country,
In
right here
Baltimore.
in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm,
Thank
mm-hmm,
you.
mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
um, and we get to share this story that happened right here in our hometown. It's going to make Baltimore proud. I am honored to be in this movie. Someone is asking me something out. We were doing a media day for it, and I was just saying, like, they were asking me how does it feel to, be playing Jasmine Carter, who is Crystal in the
Right.
movie.
Right.
And I was just saying that for me, it's quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's not always about being everywhere.
Absolutely.
It's about doing the purpose, right? And and for me, I don't really want to attach myself to things that really just don't make any sense or don't make purpose for me.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
me for me to say yes and to really do this, I had to feel strongly about it. And I really feel like um this is not just her story, this is her testimony. I
Right.
really feel like people are going to really um they need to bring their tissues, because people are really going to really feel her story. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's especially from Baltimore, it's very relatable.
Mm.
And we shoot in so many different places. We start the movie at in Jessup jail. We were
Hmm.
literally in the jail for a week and a half shooting.
Mm.
We're in the like,
I
Baltimore
remember.
County
I remember that
courthouse.
part of her testimony too.
Yeah, we were down in the inner cities of Baltimore. Um, shout out to Rosalind Gaines, who plays Mama Shorty in the movie.
Hmm.
She kills it. Okay, she kills it, and it's just a really good, solid project that is her testimony that many people need to see. Somebody's definitely gonna gain something from it. They're gonna be inspired by it, and I'm honored to be a part of it. It's truly, truly, truly gonna make Baltimore just extremely proud. And so I'm honored to be a part of Fortuitous. Again, it's premiering at the Senator, 6 p.m. sharp at the Historical Theater, the Senator. So I hope you can come. I would love to
I
see
would,
you
yeah.
there.
I really do. I really want to see what I can do to get there. But this is the thing that I want to say, Shannon, before we close, right? Because this is all about shining a light on Baltimore. But what you just did is really indicative to who we really are in Baltimore, right? This was our conversation, and you spent a good a good amount of it speaking and uplifting other people in Baltimore. And
Oh
this
yeah.
is what Baltimore is about. I don't care, and I'm not political and I'm not religious, right? I don't care what the president says. I don't care what clips you hear on social media. This right here is Baltimore. And this is why we're shining a light on it, because I know that there is a better Baltimore. Shannon, I thank you for letting people hear a little bit of our conversation. You know, we got more
Yeah.
conversation to
We
have.
do. It's like it's too much to talk about. Oh my
And
gosh.
so up next, y'all got Fact of the Matter with Tony Roberts. And then you've got some more good music, some of which will be Shannon's music, y'all. So y'all know what this is. This is the radio for the best self, best life, best radio. Say that and that part. We out.